Hey Warriors, Professor Chris here from WayOfTheWarrior.org. Today I want to talk a little bit about something that has been popping up. It's not like it's new, but it has been popping up quite a bit. We talk to just dozens of martial artists every single week to help them bring their self-valuation, their impact, and their income up. And there is this terribly, powerful poverty mindset that is running rampant both through older and younger martial artists alike. It's not like it's age or certainly not gender or even generation dependent. It's almost like everybody has lost all hope, and that is just terrible. And if you look at it, I can appreciate why that has happened. There's been so many ups and downs in the industry, and it's very difficult for martial artists when their teachers and their senseis and their professors and their instructors haven't been making any money. They're always putting them on a higher pedestal, and they're like, well, if they couldn't do it, then I can't do it either, so I'm just not even going to try. And it breaks everyone's hearts because, your teacher passed along his knowledge so you could share it, not so you could just give up. And there are some teachers who have ego problems, and they're like, well, I've struggled my entire life in this industry because I wasn't smart enough to look at other things except for, what was right in front of me. But I struggled, and so therefore you all have to struggle. Bullshit. Bullshit, right? Anytime that there is a skill set or a way of life, right, that other people deem important or that they want as well, there is always the opportunity to share that knowledge, right? And so a lot of us grew up watching, Saturday morning Kung Fu theater and whatnot with, even in Kill Bill, with Pai Mei, the old man on the mountain who has taken a vow of poverty, lives in a cave all by himself to find, something or other. Number one is that's TV and that's movies, right? Number two, there honestly have been martial artists who have taken a vow of poverty, whether they were monks or whether they were very committed to something, and that's okay, but there's a big difference between someone choosing to be poor, right, and someone just accepting to be poor. And you guys have to understand that difference, right? It's cool. Listen, if you are satisfied and you're part of a community or a religious organization or, you're a missionary, I don't know, right? A pastor, something or other, and you have consciously taken that vow of poverty, then I commend you, right? Because you have made that choice, right? But if you have not consciously made that choice, then you are not only disserving yourself, but you are disserving every other person out there who is literally praying for you to come along and help them, okay? It's so critical for you to understand that. Everybody's like, well, I try to charge more, or I try to do private lessons, and the market doesn't, or the demographics doesn't, and they come up with all these excuses when it really comes down to your own self-valuation. If you believe you're only worth $20 an hour, guess what? You are only worth $20 an hour. If you believe, like we help our guys not only believe, but actually do, that you are worth and are able to charge $300 to $500 an hour to teach someone the skill sets, the wisdom, to mentor them, to guide them, right? To transform their lives through the power that is martial arts, that has all transformed our lives, well, then you are worth that money or even more, right? It's not like overnight you're suddenly like, okay, I only make $17 an hour now, and then, Professor Chris is going to wave this magic wand, and then, tomorrow I'm going to be able to charge $500. Guys, there's no magic, right? There's no magic. We have a proven process that will bring your valuation up in a logical, systematic way so you can charge what you really truly are worth. And it's funny, when I talk to guys, myself and my team members, we talk to guys on the phone, and it never ceases to amaze me how much more we believe in them than they believe in themselves. And that's kind of scary. But, we are martial artists. A lot of people are very untested. That definitely sits with them. There's a lot of beliefs and fears. Same thing with money, right? Is that they don't have full confidence in their ability. So why are they going to bother charging someone appropriate compensation if they do believe they're already charging appropriate compensation because they think they're full of shit, right? So this isn't really a ethics or a honor discussion here. It is really just the reality of you are what you think about, right? As if you think you are poor because you'll consistently take actions. Listen, you guys might have seen like The Secret and the Law of Attraction, and there's something to that, but they always seem to forget something, which is, whether they're trying to sell something or sell some magic something or other, they always seem to forget that, okay, well, it's important if you have this vision up here of where you want to be, right, and you are down here now, you have to take appropriate action to get to there. It's just like when we were white belts, right? It's like, we saw these black belts that had these seemingly magical powers, but we knew that if they were able to do it, we could do it too, and we were committed enough and put our ego aside to be able to learn and garner those techniques to get to that higher level of martial arts. It's the exact same thing with money. Everything's the same, right? Education, martial arts, politics, right? You just don't decide to run for president unless you got $1 gazillion like our current one, right? But most politicians, they go up a very certain specific order, maybe local council, mayor, right, senator, or, governor, or whatever else, and then they decide to go for the big show. And then they don't nearly have as much splashback or whatever's going on. It's neither here nor there. Same thing with education, right? Okay, I'm going to go teach college tomorrow, or I'm going to go be a medical doctor, or I'm going to go be an attorney. Well, I can't just study a book overnight and then be it. Right? There is a path that has been set to get from down here to up here. And you have to follow the logical progression to get to there. And it's the same thing with money, right? Just because you don't have money now means nothing, right? The simple fact that you know that there are people up here, especially people doing what you love, teaching martial arts to whoever, right? Whether it's a school setting or private lessons like we help you do, right? Just because the only reason we have focused on private lessons is, number one, it's quick, right? It's not instant. There's no magic pill again, right? It's not instant. It's a lot of work, right? But it's worth it, and it's very streamlined, and it happens relatively quickly as opposed to putting out a lot of money for a school. And those of you guys who are school owners know, right? So even if you're behind the 8 ball on the school, this is really about bringing your valuation up. So then you can take that and it gives you options, right? Because once you realize how much you are worth and other people realize how much you are worth, then you have freedom, right? You can go in this direction. You can own multiple schools. You can stick training private lessons. You can go teach celebrities. You can, go teach NFL players, right? Whatever. It doesn't really matter. It's really about that self-valuation, because not only that money that comes, that can't come without that self-valuation, that in itself is freedom. Freedom to have more money to advertise to the people that you want to teach and train and mentor and guide, right? Freedom to, listen, being a martial arts instructor, a professional martial arts instructor is exhausting, right? I posted a funny meme on Way of the Warrior Facebook page the other day that just went crazy about, being a martial arts instructor is being everything from a father and a teacher and a life coach and a therapist and a big brother, right? And all the 20 different things of what it means, right? And it's tiring. So it's worth it, but it's tiring. And if you want to have the time that you need to recoup, to rejuvenate, right? To study and constantly better ourselves, which I know all of us do, right? Because we want to pass that on, right, to our students and those who trust in us, then you need to have some downtime. And the only way to have downtime and freedom is to make enough money when you do what you're best at, your zone of genius, right? You have to have enough money so you don't have to work all these hours, right? It's the only way it can happen. And those of you who are school owners are like, yeah, Chris, I know, thank you. Because, it's the truth. It's the hardest possible thing to do, right? It's worth it, but it's difficult, right? And so anyway, get to the long of the short here is, listen, what we do is exactly that. This entire company, right? My entire life, everything I've done in this industry, from publishing to owning schools to teaching privates to do whatever else, has all come to this, where this entire company has been specifically designed to assist you to not only raise your valuation as a martial artist to the highest possible level, but to also get paid at the highest possible level, to give you that freedom so you can actually accomplish your vision, right? Whichever way you want to go after that, that's fine. We're here to help you with that too. But it all has to start with that progression of, number one, believing, truly believing that you do not have to be struggling or poor, that it's, that being afraid to look at your bank account is not the way, being afraid to go to a restaurant and having to penny pinch, right, when you're out there with your girlfriend, your wife, your kids, right, and you're like, kids, don't order, what you really want, we got to save some money. That's terrible, right? Which is the better way to live? To live like that. And again, like I said before, if you want to take a vow of poverty, go ahead, do it, right? But don't fucking complain, right, that, other people have everything and I have nothing. It's okay if it's your choice, right? But being poor is your choice. And now it's your time to choose to bring, again, nobody comes in here looking for yachts and Ferraris, right? Every martial artist on the planet wants to make enough money so they are stable, secure, and that they can continually teach and spread their art, their message, their wisdom, right? What makes them excellent to other people. But you need to get paid for that. So not for yachts and Ferraris, but so that you can continually have that freedom to rest, rejuvenate, improve your own education, travel, learn new things, to bring it back to teach other people, even advertise to get more people in the door so you can help even more people. That's the way this works, right? So again, you have the choice. You can stay where you are, struggling, pissed off, not liking your job. If you are already a professional martial arts teacher and you're not making what you want, right? It's your choice. You're sitting there. Or you can get on the phone with us and we will be happy whether you work with us or not. I mean, listen, what we do is pretty specific, and there has to be certain elements of that person, almost like a checklist, right, that you have to possess. It's not for everyone, right? But our mission of the company is to increase the valuation of all martial arts anyway, so we're happy to talk to you regardless, right? And if you want to work with us, great. If you don't, whatever. It's not a big deal because we're still going to help you map out that path. That's why the call you have with us is a true planning session, because whether you decide to go on a plan this way that we can help, or whether you decide to go on a plan that we've helped you create that has nothing to do with us, awesome. You're still not stuck down here anymore, all right? So go ahead, go to WayOfTheWarrior.org/talk. Just find a time on the calendar. If you haven't watched our masterclass yet on how to make $10,000 a month teaching private lessons, martial arts lessons to the affluent, just go right to WayOfTheWarrior.org and sign up for the free masterclass right there. You can watch that. But then again, guys, listen. We're moving into the time of the year where people have the time and they need the help. This is the time to do this, right? So you can sit and you can debate whether you want to stay here or do this or whatever else. Listen, just make a decision, right? And that decision starts with a complimentary call with myself and my guys, and we will help you plan out. And if we can help you get there, awesome. If not, awesome too. You're still going to come away with complete clarity, right, of why you're not able to fully monetize your skills as a professional martial artist, and then exactly what to do that, all right? WayOfTheWarrior.org/talk, and I'll talk to you all later.